The Wisconsin Badgers return to the Kohl Center for Alumni Weekend as the program celebrates the 50th anniversary of the first national championship team of 1973 and the 40th anniversary of the 1983 national title squad. We'll hear from head coach Tony Granato and preview this weekend's series against the top-ranked team in the country, Minnesota. Coming up next, I'm Brian Posick, and this is the Badger Hockey Digest.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Dear winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It is Alumni Weekend, and we're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1973 National Championship team. The first, Bob Johnson was the head coach, and Jeff Sauer was the head coach of the 83 team. 40 years since that squad won a national championship. I know 73 may be a bit early for you, but you know those guys quite well, and you love bringing the alumni back anyway. This is going to be great.
Well, what I love is the fact that it's almost everyone's going to make it back. I think there's two guys that can't make it in. Everyone else and their spouses are coming in. So that team was really the team that kind of kicked off the tradition and history and kind of set the tone for Badger hockey. And it wasn't just the team that won. The year before, they were close, and the guys from the 73 team, give a lot of credit to the guys that had graduated and moved on from the 72 team for their helping them get ready for that moment of being able to come back in the game, the semifinal game
against Cornell,
against
down
Cornell.
4-0.
I mean, that's incredible. If you watch the highlights of that game and you just see, you can kind of see what that team was all about by just watching the highlights from those two games. And then, obviously Timmy Dool, their captain, is just one of those guys that you could say right now, if we could dress him up and put him on the bench on Friday and Saturday this weekend, he'd find a way to help us. He just seems like one of those captains that was somebody that kept everyone together and played hockey for the right reasons and led through example. And I think, that team, like I said, just saying that they're all going to be back with the exception of two guys says what they meant to one another. And as you get older and you experience different teams in your life, you always realize, man, oh man, how are we going to keep in touch with each other? What's going to bring us back together? And to have that many players show up from that team shows how much they loved each other, played for each other, and cared for each other. And they got lots of reasons to celebrate this weekend.
Yeah. The 83 team you're quite familiar with, too, because that's the team that you had to come in and replace the following year as a freshman, right?
Yeah, it is, and that's the Chelios, Driver, Flatley,
Mark Barron,
Newberry. Those are the guys that all left when we came in because they won the championship and they were ready for pro hockey and ready to move on and do some fun things in their professional careers. But yeah, that was a fun team to watch and see what they did to win. But they were just another one of those teams. You had great goaltending, and you had your defensive team that was great competitors, and then you had your grinders up front and Flatley and a few other of them, and then you had your guys that showed up in big games and big moments to make big plays. So fun team to watch for me. That was the team. Like you said, I was a senior in high school, knowing that I was coming in that next year. I got to see lots of their games and another phenomenal team, and that's hard to believe. That's 40 years. We're celebrating them 40 years.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun on Saturday night. Friday night, stripe out at the Kohl Center against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I know last weekend didn't go well at Michigan, but Tyson Jugnoth, freshman defenseman, had 3 goals and 4 points. We talked a lot about Charlie Stramel and Cruz Lucius. You've got a couple of other freshmen who've chipped in as well, Ben Dexheimer and Jack Horbach. Let's take 2 minutes with Jack Horbach. Well, Well, Jack grew up in Naperville, Illinois, played for the Chicago Mission. His family, his dad, Bill Horbach, is from Naperville and actually won a few national championships at the Division III level at my alma mater, UW-Stevens Point. Went back and looked at his stats. They weren't that glowing, were they, Jack?
No, he was just along for the ride, so like he wasn't much of an impact player there. So I hope he hears this one day and comes at me for it. So. That'll be good.
He will soon. He will soon. But he must have had an impact on you, getting you involved in the sport.
No, not really. It was actually my mom that wanted me to play. He really didn't want me to play.
Really?
It was more of my mom that pushed for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it was like back then, but he just really didn't want me to play. But now he's along for the ride, and he's happy I am. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you're happy too.
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time with the Mission, and you got a lot of eyeballs on you there too. I suppose even as a youngster, when you're going through that level of hockey, you know when there are college coaches kind of sniffing around, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's for sure, and especially with him helping me through the process. It was awesome to have him there. So it wasn't like too worrisome about it. It was just kind of go out there and play your game and see what happens about it.
Yeah, you went from the Mission to the Capitals. You played a few games, and then the following year you played an entire season with the Madison Capitals, and then you went to Lincoln for a year, and then you went back to the Madison Capitals. It's junior hockey. You wouldn't think there'd be a lot of transition at that level, but that happens all the time, doesn't it? And what was it like for you?
It was my first year in Madison was awesome. Although we weren't good, the team we had and the camaraderie we had with each other was awesome. So we were really close, and everyone still talks to each other to this day, but it just didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And then my next year, we didn't really have a team because of COVID and everything. Right. So I kind of got traded kind of to Lincoln, but then my rights were still with the Capitals. So it was tough in Lincoln because I had to play defense the whole year, but it was good getting through that experience. But now back last year at the Capitals, that was one of my best years ever, and the team we have was awesome. We almost won it all, so it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe when you have a season canceled, and then the next year you come back. Tommy Upton was your head coach, and he leads you to the Clark Cup Finals. I don't think anybody expected that. How about you, Ben Dexheimer, and others on that team?
Oh, it was awesome. We didn't expect it at all. We were just there, ready to have fun and be kind of underdogs the whole season, show everyone what we got. That was kind of our memo, was proving everyone wrong kind of and showing them what we were made of, and it doesn't matter that we didn't have a good year. And that coaching staff really helped us throughout the whole thing too.
Yeah. You could utilize that here, couldn't you?
Oh yeah.
With what's going on right now.
Oh
right?
Yeah, underdog mentality, love it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I think Jack is right. There's an underdog mentality with your hockey club. You've only got 6 regular season games left, and you're playing the top-ranked team in the country this weekend. Just go out, play hockey, and have fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the spirit of the alumni and the reunion and all of the excitement of those guys being back in town. And then again, it's Minnesota. So throw out the standings. This is an opportunity as a college player. This is what you play for, chances to play against rivalries like this. Everyone knows what Minnesota, Wisconsin's all about. So yeah, I mean, we haven't played well. We didn't play well last weekend at Michigan. Weekend before at Notre Dame, it wasn't quite as bad. The Michigan one was, we let a skilled team do whatever they wanted against us. So we're going to have to have a different mentality going into this weekend. We're going to have to play a heck of a lot better. And we went, the last few weeks, we were hoping to gain momentum going into the playoffs. This is an opportunity for us again. That's the way we've got to look at it.
All right, good luck. Go get them.
Thank you, Brian.
Sure, that's Badgers head coach Tony Granato. Wisconsin and Minnesota. Friday night face-off at 7 o'clock on Valley Sports Wisconsin. Saturday face-off at 5 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Both games also live on the radio, the Badgers Sports Network. For Tony Granato, Steph Olson, and Jay Williams, I'm Brian Posick, and thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,